Yin and Yang for Feng Shui, the martial arts, and the I Ching. Correlation of Yin and Yang, an excerpt from Part 1, Yin, Yang, and the Center. This is the Tai Chi symbol, also known as the Yin and Yang symbol. It represents any two complementary things in nature. The design may have been based on the progress of the sun's shadow on a sundial throughout the year. The two opposite colored dots represent how the cycle begins to return to its opposite as soon as one extreme is reached. Everyone has their own particular definition of yin and yang, depending on the situation. The very best definition of yin and yang I found was by a friend of mine who grew up in a large Chinese family in San Francisco. She said simply, it's a comparison of difference. The constantly cycling nature of yin and yang is evident throughout nature. For example, here we can see how the day cycles from the hot, bright part of the day at noon to the dark, cold at midnight. We can also observe cooling at sunset and warming at sunrise. This is a gradual cycle represented by a couple of extremes and a transition going on between them. Here are the phases of the moon each month, from the new moon at the bottom to the full moon at the top. The moon changes gradually day by day, and the full moon is bright and yang, and the new moon is dark and yin. Here we have the most yang part of the day lined up with the most yang part of the moon's monthly cycle. In Chinese thought, we look for correlations in nature. If you're interested in eclipses or the phases of the moon, then you know that even from Earth, you can observe the sun and moon opposite to each other during the full moon. In this case, we are correlating or co-relating the full moon with high noon, so they belong on the same side of this cycle. In Chinese thought, correlation is a useful model transferable to other areas or systems. Here's an example of a Chinese compass with south at the top. South is the hot yang part of the compass, and north is the cooler yin part, with east on the left and west on the right. In ancient China, the emperor always sat facing south, and the orientation for a map or compass was to the south. It's just good feng shui because a south-facing building or imperial palace is warmer in winter and cooler in summer. Now a Chinese compass with south at the top has been added to our drawing. The seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter, also demonstrate cycles through time. And here are trigrams correlated with all yang lines at the top and yin lines at the bottom. These values and gradations of yin and yang are a useful basis for learning more about Chinese thought, and we can observe yin and yang cycling throughout our lives.